also offer borrowers an opportunity to make monthly savings, with the government topping up an equal amount for every savings made. For those who bore witness to the launch of the Hustlers Fund, the gesture is both timely and necessary.
Nikipewa inaweza nisaidia kuweka kazi ya yoga, niweke studio na nitajikimu kimaisha, itanisimamia vizuri.
Kama sisi ni watu wa mashindani, ataisaidia kama watu wanakonjeka tukiwa hospitali kwa umbali. Naona kama tutafaidika kwa sababu tukifinya hiyo namba hiyo pesa tukibahatika tupate, tunaona kama tutasonga mbele.
Loans from the kitty for small businesses will range from as low as 500 to 50,000 Kenyan shillings with an interest rate of 8% on pro rata basis. The Hustlers Fund also aimed to offer affordable credit by charging an interest of 0.02% per day, which is 500 times cheaper than the current rate, which ranges between 1% and 10% per day. The launch of Hustlers Fund came at the backdrop of a very heated debate in Parliament between Kenya Kwanza allied MPs and opposition leaders who questioned the motive of Hustlers Fund. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, in what seems to be taking a jab at the opposition, telling them to keep off the Hustlers Fund politics.
For over 8 million Kenyans who are locked out of money lending institutions due to their poor credit lendings, now the narrative lives on thanks to Hustler Fund. Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
Hustler Fund, there you have it. Kindly tell us what you think about it on our social media platform at KUTV_Kenya. We are going to sample your comments in a few. Now, the 50 billion Kenya shillings Hustler Fund, launched by President William Ruto, has received support from various leaders. Accompanying the president at the venue was his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja, and other cabinet secretaries. The leaders took to the podium to laud the initiative, urging eligible Kenyans to take it up and empower themselves both domestically and internationally.
I think as the Hustler is trying also, you can try it in your phone.
It is a sigh of relief to Kenyans with low-earning businesses after President William Ruto officially launched the Hustler Fund at Green Park Bus Terminal, Nairobi. The initiative has received support from the President and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, who have urged Kenyans to invest the funds in their businesses.
This is the reason why, going into the future, we must all understand that the only way we can invest in Kenya is that we must have savings, because that's the only way we can invest in a responsible manner. Tunakubaliana jameni?
Mimi nataka kuuliza mahustlers wetu wote, tafadhalini msituangushe, hizi pesa mchukue, msifanyie kazi na mlipe, kwa sababu mkikosa kulipa tutakwama.
According to the president, the funds will be equally allocated to all Kenyans, regardless of their tribe or region they come from. His sentiments have been echoed by the Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives and Micro-Small Business Enterprises, Simon Chelugui, who says this is a new beginning to small business owners nationwide.
Tujue ya kwamba haya mipango yote ni mipango ambayo itafaidi wa Kenya wote bila ya kujali nani alipiga kura mahali gani. Sisi wote sasa ni wa Kenya, mandugu wa taifa moja, na tunataka tutembee pamoja hivyo.
And this is a fund that will transform the bottom of our pyramid. 10 million Kenyans, as you stated here, Your Excellency, have been locked out because of punitive and predatory lending.
Furthermore, the president has said the government is going to create a favorable working environment for business in order to achieve the objectives of the fund, which are to create more jobs for the youths and to raise the country's economy.
Tumekubaliana na gavana ya kwamba Nairobi hii tutajenga soko zingine 20 Nairobi County, ili tuwasaidie hawa wafanyabiashara waweze kuwa na mahali pazuri pa kufanya biashara.
Tuko na ward 85 na tuko na constituency 17. Wote hapo kuna mahasla ambao pia tutaweza kuangalia.
The Hustler Fund, which amounts to Kenyan shillings 50 billion, is one of the promises that the President William Ruto included in his manifesto during the campaign period of the 2022 general election. Shadrack Smiu, KUTV.
Unaona hizo smiles?
All right, away from that, the United Nations Human Settlements Program has recognized Nairobi as a global focal point for urbanization and human settlement. Earlier today at the State House in Nairobi, the United Nations, represented by UN Habitat Executive Director Maimuna Sharif, held a meeting with President William Ruto. In a statement, the president lauded the UN agency for its cooperation to the fast and urbanizing world. He reiterated that Kenya commits to see a revitalized UN habitat that will help members respond promptly to emerging vulnerabilities and risks. After the High Court made its ruling on November 29th, allowing the Principal Secretary's nominees vetting process to continue, the Parliamentary Committee resumed the process, with Telecommunication Principal Secretary nominee Edward Kisiangani being the first to face the committee. The Parliamentary Committee is required to vet the remaining 31 PS and write a report.
Principal Secretary nominee Edward Kisiangani, while appearing before the Parliamentary Vetting Committee, gave his view on communication, information and innovation, saying that there must be a reasonable period with which the bundles expire. However, Kisiangani told the MPs that Parliament must give directions and registrations on the issues. The MPs also sought the nominee's view on splitting big telcos, and in his response, Kisiangani said having one telco dominating money transfer services may lead to loss of a lot of money in case of a major economic turbulence, suggesting on splitting so as to invite new players. State Department for Lands and Physical Planning PS nominee Nixon Korir, as he faced the committee, said he will ensure officials mentioned in illegal land grabbing are brought to book. The former registrar added that if approved, he will work with the DCI and other authorities to ensure that anyone mentioned on any illegal land issue is investigated. Among those set to face different House Committee for vetting include Mary Muthoni Muriuki, PS nominee Interior, Dr. Berio Kipsang, PS nominee Basic Education, Esther Dhara Moria, PS nominee TVETs, Beatrice Inyagara, PS nominee Higher Education and Research, Alex Washira, PS nominee Energy, and Mohammed Liban, PS nominee Petroleum. Others are Susan Mangei, PS nominee SMEs, Nixon Korir, PS nominee Lands and Physical Planning, Festus Ngeno, PS nominee Environment, Ephantus Kimodo, PS nominee Forestry, Elijah Mwangi, PS nominee Mining, as well as Charles Hinga, PS nominee Housing and Urban Development, including others. Edward Nyamu, KUTV.
Thank you, Nyamu, for that report. The nationwide Kenya Certificate of Primary Education KCPE examinations, which began on Monday 28th November, has just been concluded today. More than 1.2 million learners in the 493 centers across the country sat for the test alongside the grade 6 candidates who are sitting for the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment KPC examination. It was noted that the tests were going on smoothly, with only a few hitches that were easily resolved. The marking of the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education exams is set to begin immediately following the conclusion of the test, as it was noted by Basic Education Principal Secretary Dr. Julius Juan. "15 minutes past the top of the hour. We are taking our first short break here at KUTV. We are coming back with more, so stay tuned.
Kenyatta University will hold its 52nd graduation ceremony on Friday, 16th December 2022 at the main campus along the Thika Superhighway. KUTV will provide live coverage of the graduation ceremony from 8 a.m. The graduation ceremony will also be streamed live on KUTV and KU website, Lola app and all KU social media platforms. For more information, please contact the Office of the Registrar Academic on 020-870-3092 or 0786335111 or visit the KU website at www.ku.ac.ke. Kenyatta University, transforming higher education, enhancing lives.
Hello everyone, this is the new chapter of Let's Be Fit. I'll be host DiCaprio. I'm here to give you various workouts. I'll be having different trainers. We'll have Zumba classes, we'll have aerobics classes, we'll have box exercise, we'll have kata box, just name them.
Pull up in a beam, too much, too clean, I'm tall. Don't foster, serious and daughter. A big time player, trip too big and ganja. I went, flexer, Tina said gym,
The show comes every Thursday from 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. Keep it locked, make sure we keep fit, and that's it from me to you. Let's be fit.
I went, flexer, Tina said gym, too hot like a heater. My neck done froze like winter. Don't bet it on liquor, shades on my picture.
There's a criteria on how we select the students who join the program. And for us, the criteria is that they must come from a needy background.
We have very many programs in aerobics, but specifically I will highlight one. That is the intake program, and it has two areas that we focus on, or rather two stages that it works, happens. So the first one is the DLP, that is the digital literacy program. It is the first training that anyone gets to interact with at aerobics.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts, training of trainers, nail technology, and fashion design. With branches in Nairobi, Thika, Meru, Eldoret, and now in Mombasa, our courses ensure that learners are completely equipped with knowledge, competency, and employability skills. Enroll today to be a part of a center of excellence.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Let's continue the bulletin. The Cabinet Secretary for Public Service and Gender, Aisha Jumwa, will be a state witness in the murder case of Gumbau Jola. This comes after the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nordin Haji, accepted the request by Jumwa's lawyer, Danstan Omari, for a review of the file. Jumwa, alongside her former bodyguard, Geoffrey Oketo, were charged with the murder of Gumbau, who was shot during the Ganda Ward by-election campaigns in 2019. Haji has made the application to the court to withdraw the murder charges against Jumwa, saying she will be a state witness. The case will be mentioned on December 21st for the formal withdrawal of the case against her. The High Court has stopped Meru County Assembly members from debating the impeachment motion against Governor Kawira Mwangaza. Ms. Mwangaza filed a petition in court last week seeking to have the Assembly restrained from debating her impeachment. Justice Tripsisa Cherere ruled that the High Court has jurisdiction to issue conservatory orders sought by the governor. The governor, who was holding public engagements on Ward Fund in Maua, paused midway and asked the pastor present to assist her in apologizing 70 times. The heartfelt apology was extended to all 69 MCAs as well as the speaker.
Koti yetu at least imeniongezea furaha. Nina shukrani mbele za Bwana, maana ushindi ni wake.
Still on the corridors of justice, the Director of Public Prosecution, Nordin Haji, has withdrawn a murder case against Tob Cohen's widow, Sarah Wairimu, and her co-accused. According to the DPP, the case in which the late Dutch tycoon's wife, Sarah Cohen, and 2 others are accused of murdering him will now be registered as an inquest. The late Cohen's family has, however, opposed the application to have the case withdrawn. Sarah Wairimu Cohen, who was charged 3 years ago after the body of Cohen, a former CEO of Philips Electronics East Africa, was found dumped in a septic tank at his home in September 2019. Away from that, the world continues to mark 16 days of gender-based violence activism, a campaign that provides an important platform each year to focus the world's attention on the common goal of ending violence against women and girls. In Siaya County, Joyce Adhiambo, a single mother living with disability, is experiencing the psychological effects of being discriminated as a woman living with disability. Jacqueline Wanjiru with that story.
As the world continues to mark 16 days of gender-based violence activism, Joyce Adhiambo Otieno is finding it rough trying to cope with the dual challenge of living with disability and caring for a son with sickle cell disorder. Adhiambo narrates the harrowing experience she has undergone since before the birth of her son.
Zimebali juu ya disability, so tukaachana. So by that time nilikuwa na 2-month pregnancy, nikaamua kwenda home, nikaamua tu kulea mtoto, nikazaa.
Due to her condition, Adhiambo had to undergo a cesarean section and is a single mother living with disability who eked a living from plaiting hair. She could no longer work as the wound would not enable her stand for long, marking another chapter of misery to her. She also narrates how her baby was diagnosed with sickle cell disorder.
Okay, now see. Kuexplainia doc mashida, akaniambia kesho yake nirudi for sickling test. So vile nilisikia, what? Sickling test? Okay. Na sasa nilikuwa 50-50. Ndio sickling test ingefanya, lakini hakuna mwenye akona sickle cell wetu. Can it be? Nikabaika. Nikarudi home. Nikaambia boss kesho nafaa kurudi OC. Tutapima sickling test. So I went back. Nikapima. Nikakuwa admitted. Mtoto akagunduliwa kuna sickle cell.
Adhiambo says that life has been hard raising the 20-month-old son who requires close monitoring and special care. Bondo Sub-County Assistant County Commissioner Mr. Michael Toh advised Adhiambo to report to relevant government offices so that she could be assisted to, among others, trace the child's father.
More importantly, as a department, we are already working so hard together with other stakeholders to try and hasten the cause of justice for the victims. We are, as a department, giving training to our officers with regard to how best they are going to be able to handle cases that are reported to them.
According to the UNHCR, it is estimated that 1 in 3 women will experience sexual, physical, or other forms of violence in their lifetime, where during times of crisis, the threat of gender-based violence significantly increases for women and girls. Jacqueline Wanjiru, KUTV.
All right, now let's take a look at what's happening in the world of sports. Kenya Premier League record champions Gor Mahia have been ordered by FIFA's dispute resolution chamber to pay Malian goalkeeper Adama Keita 2.9 million Kenya shillings plus interest in salary arrears and for breach of contract. The order follows an earlier directive to pay the 32-year-old over 1.1 million Kenya shillings owed to him by the club. The Malian joined the club in August last year on a 2-year contract where he made less than 10 appearances for the club and his contract was subsequently terminated. Kogalo could risk another transfer ban if they go against this order. All right, that's all we had in store for you this Wednesday. Many thanks indeed for keeping us company. We hope that as the new month starts tomorrow, it's going to start on a high note. My name is Ann ODIDA. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Samuel Kello. Have yourself a good night.